This is Tonio coming at you once again, and in this video we're going to be showing you how I made this serving platter with an epoxy inlay. Alright, so this is how it's looking. I already started to router it here in the corner a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and router this out. This is going to take a good minute to router out, so I'm going to set the camera down, and because the router may get in the way of the camera, there won't be much to see, but I'll go ahead and do a time lapse anyway. Alright, here is the final design. Now before we fill it in with epoxy, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to get our Dremel, and I'm going to go ahead and clean up all the lines that aren't straight. I went and got a few bits from the local hardware store. We have these carving bits here, two different shapes, and then we have this cone bit, and then this one's just kind of rounded nose bit. So let's see what we can do here. So I have handpicked 3 of the mini stains I have, and I'm not sure which one of these 3 I want to use. We have summer oak, we have red mahogany, and American walnut. I have a little test piece here. We're going to go ahead and put a little bit of each one on the test piece, and I'm going to make a decision based on that. And right off the bat, I actually love all 3 colors. And looking at this, I think I already know which one I want to use. I'm thinking I'm going to use the summer oak. And the reason being is because if I use the dark one, it will completely cover up the design, and I don't think it'll shine through the design very well. It'll be hard to see the design with the dark stain on there, so I'm not going to use the dark ones. I'm going to use the light one. And the second reason is I think the summer oak is going to pop with the gold pigment that we use in the epoxy. So we're going to go ahead and use summer oak. I'm actually even going to stain just a little small section here before I do the whole thing, just to be sure that this is what I want to do, instead of using just a clear. And yeah, that's gonna look beautiful. So I'm sure that this is what I want to do. Alright, here we are staining the board. We're going to put a layer on it and let that sit to dry. And once it is dry, we are going to put a finish on it. But apparently, I forgot to record myself putting the finish on the product here. So right after this, we're going to go ahead and just skip forward to a little bit. And basically, we're just going to pick up where we left off. Last step of the process here. This looks really good. It's pretty much done. As you can tell, it looks hella good. But this little corner, for whatever reason, kind of messed up. It came out a little too thick in this corner. It's just a little bit of a bump here, and accidentally touched it and messed it up there. So we're gonna have to sand this back down and fix that. Instead of sanding this, I'm just gonna scrape it off with a chisel. For some weird reason, even though it's been quite a few days, this should have been cured a long time ago. But look at this. If I go over it very carefully with the chisel, it's actually still really soft. So we don't really want uncured polyurethane, and it's even still quite sticky. So I'm gonna get rid of the soft areas, which is just this corner, and we're going to refinish it. As we come farther out here on the wood, it's actually pretty cured right here, so I don't want to chisel off too far. Now I'm gonna go ahead, sand this down, try to blend it in, and hope for the best. Alright, that was quite a bit of sanding. Not really, about 5 minutes, but I think it came out pretty good. I blended it in pretty well. Now we're gonna sand up and grit a little bit, and then we're gonna do our refinish. Pulled out the stain here, and we're gonna go ahead and retouch up the stain before we finish. And that should be good. I'm gonna start off with a real light coat here. We're just gonna touch it up to kind of reseal the wood again. I'm gonna pour a little bit on there and then just spread it out. I went ahead and set it up here on the rack to dry, and damn son, that finish looks incredible. This finish is damn near perfect and probably one of the best finishes I've ever gotten. It does not get better than that. Once the finish is complete and we had that all fixed up, I went and bought these handles from my local Home Depot. You could probably find these at other local hardware stores, or you could purchase these online. I think I got a pack of them, of like 4 of them, for like 20 bucks or something like that. I don't remember exactly what I paid, but they're pretty easy. You just drill out a couple holes here and here, make sure they're centered, use your tape measure to get the distance of the holes right, and I flush mounted them here on the bottom so it looks real good, and that way when you lay it down flat, you know, the screws aren't sticking out. This ain't flat, but if you had a kitchen table, you know. That is how I made this beautiful looking board. Oh yeah, one last thing I almost forgot to mention. I am now selling my very own line of t-shirts. Sorry if you couldn't see that. Here's a better view of it. It says "Only God Can Judge Me" with a cross on it. If you guys want to check that out, go to mycraftsmanship.com. Again, that is mycraftsmanship.com. You can go ahead and check that out in the link in the description. I'll go ahead and leave one there in the description for you guys to check out. However, at the time of posting this video, I'm not quite yet open, so you can sign up with your email list. If you go to the website, just scroll on down to the box where it says email and hit subscribe, and you guys will be notified as soon as we're open. I'm also going to be selling some of the woodwork, such as the board you've seen in this video, so stay tuned in for that later this summer or spring.